start. So welcome, Nicole Vanderkay. It's an absolute privilege to have you on this. A little bit starstruck, if we're being honest. I think my wife and I, and our little humble little company, and half of New Plymouth, were pretty taken aback with performance, obviously in New Plymouth, and then and here we are, sort of you're halfway around the world. We're still in New Plymouth, and we're managing to get you on for a chat now. So it's pretty cool. So welcome along.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a very kind welcoming. I'm very happy to be here, and I love New Plymouth. It's special
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty neat. We spoke last time about that, and the place itself obviously got a special meaning for you with the event win, but obviously the training and the people. So it's yeah, we certainly New Plymouth doesn't get a lot of that sort of stuff in the athletic world. We get plenty of events or WOMADs and these kind of things, which are amazing too. But to have world class athletes here and putting on the show you guys did was awesome to see. So I don't know how, but I managed to sneak a media pass here and found myself in my little DSLR camera. Funny story, but with a blue vest on, taking photos and interviews of people, and had absolutely no place being there. So I was just in the right place at the right time and found a
How
blue
good.
vest, and away we went.
Yeah, nice.
So for those that don't know, obviously whereabouts are you now? Like what part of the world are you in, and yeah, how long what's your sort of base and set up where you are?
Well, it's a very busy time of year for me. If you asked me that 2 days ago, it would have been different. But currently, I am in Banyoles, which is in Spain, probably about a 90-minute drive from Barcelona.
Well, is that a like a Kiwi base, or is it sort of a private kind of thing you guys are organising over there? How does it work?
Yeah, so it's this beautiful little town we've been coming to for years. The New Zealand Triathlon squad. We're not the only ones. There's also the Australian squad here and the Spanish squad, and the Canadians are down the road in Girona.
Well,
And a lot of Kiwi New Zealand cyclists actually live down in Girona. So it's not exclusive. It's just a really good place to train. And
right.
that's just proof of how many people come here.
With the way you guys race so hard and then come obviously together at the end, and everyone's you're obviously pretty good mates outside of the sport, which is fairly unique to a lot of different sports. But does that translate to the training where you guys are? Does that do you guys train together with the different countries and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's different for other countries, or other sports, sorry, but triathlon, it's just incredible the way we come together after racing. The support we give each other, we push each other right to the limit, and then right at the end, we're falling over the finish line and we'd see if each other are okay. So it's super special. I've made some lifetime friends, and yeah, I just love our sport.
Yeah, yeah, it's incredible to watch. I just, I mean, if you had a bunch of road cyclists sort of beside each other, imagine living in different, different pro teams living in the same base. There'd be some that would talk and some that wouldn't. It'd be quite an interesting dynamic where you guys just seem to get stuck in. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So to kick off, where you are and what you're doing. Obviously, we sort of touched on what part of the world you're in. But what does your last training session look like, and what's your next one look like? You say you're on a pretty easy day today, so people are pretty keen to see how you guys actually train.
Yeah, so Friday today is our easy day. We have spent 4 days here training since Sunderland. We kind of just got straight back into it because we have Paris coming up. That's the Olympic test event. Just getting more endurance in, more longer sessions in, especially just to bump up that endurance aspect. So yesterday, it was a threshold swim in the morning. It was a lot more sprints than we usually do. It was sprints and then into zone 3. So that was about an hour and a half to an hour 40 of swimming. And then had a short break, had some breakfast, or second breakfast, and then we headed out for. I did 3.5 hours on the bike. I actually rode with my coach, and because he turned 50, did 3.5 hours. Did this beautiful loop around Olot. Got about 1,000 elevation in, and I did 6 by 5 minutes threshold within that ride too, and then a short jog off the bike, just to top the day off. And then we went out to pizza for dinner. So it was a really good day yesterday.
not a bad day at all. But that's it's amazing because people think the short course sort of world, you guys can get away with short course training or short training, but that's sort of a 70.3 kind of day, isn't it? Really, when you look at those sort of hours, it's pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, maybe not quite a 70.3 day, but yeah,
Close.
we don't just train 20 minutes. We train
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit more than that.
yeah, definitely. And that obviously changes through the year, depending on what you've got, because your race distances are obviously go from Super League obviously is incredibly short and intense versus push out to Olympic distance where there is that 2 hour 10 kind of thing, isn't it? Or obviously a bit under for you guys.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
always
way
a little
different.
bit more for females. So
Yeah,
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 yeah. We have a baseline of like similar training, but yeah, it would get more specific going into different races, such as
yeah.
Hamburg or Super League or the test event. It would just cater towards what we're going towards within those few weeks.
Well, yeah. So where you are in your base, so do you get a variety of stuff to train? Have you got open water there, or is there have you got a bit of everything? I imagine it's trail running that we're all going to get incredibly jealous of. And
Yeah, I guess this is why everyone comes here because I'm probably slightly biased, but it's my favorite place to train. There's a beautiful open water area. It's a lake, and they actually have kind of like a K of swimming. So it's 500 down, 500 back, and
oh
they've
wow,
got buoys
wicked.
the whole way. So it's actually quite easy to get 4 or 5K in open water. Usually I struggle like because you're just going for a straight line for so long you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
bored. But with
yeah.
this, you do reps. You do 500 reps, 1K reps. You can have your gear at the side. It's really wicked. The water temperature is
Well,
like 28, 29, so you're not getting
oh, cut
cold.
it out. Oh, just
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's
right.
really nice. It's beautiful. Running's great. There's a little 6K loop around the lake that we swim in. And then it goes off into the trails. You can do really steep hills if you want. There's long flat trails if you want that kind of thing. We're spoiled for choice. And then riding, it's where I fell in love with riding, to be honest. Riding's quite hard in New Zealand with the heavy chip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's slow, it's hard, it's brutal in New Zealand. And the Europeans don't only realize when they come and train, they're like, why are we riding so slow? But
Yeah, the average is down. Yeah,
yeah.
what's going on? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, and here it's just the cars are so nice. Um, the road's so smooth, the climbs are so long. Yeah, I just love it
Well,
here.
yeah, that sounds incredible. So you obviously got that variety, which is you're not going to obviously not going to get bored, but you can sort of mix up your sessions and be pretty specific on what you need to do with that workload too, which is incredible. So
Yeah, we're definitely
yeah,
spoiled here, 100%. And like I said, it's a reason why every federation comes
yeah,
and trials it out here because it is nice.
yeah, yeah, amazing. I did have a question written down there about your favourite place to train. I sort of was hoping you were going to drop New Plymouth in there, but you've really thrown us
Well,
under a
there
bus
are
there.
a
So
few, if I'm being honest.
oh, yeah, we go. Going to
I
try and
say
recover this.
Gisborne and Taupo and Gold Coast and New Plymouth. But yeah,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I spent 3 weeks down in New Plymouth and I absolutely loved it. It was my first time training there. And you guys are definitely spoiled down there. So yeah.
yeah. We don't have the smooth tar seal, and we definitely don't have mid-20s in that water. but maybe in the top 2 inches of the water might warm up a little bit, but it's not there.
You do
That's
have
okay.
surf though. I'll take
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. Plenty of that. Yeah, no, we're pretty lucky, but yeah, at the moment when it's yeah, sort of our early morning runs are in 1 degree sort of temperature. It's I'd quite swap at the moment. We could trade, but that's okay. So, so do you mind just going back to obviously where you got into this? Like you're at the sort of the pinnacle end of it or the sharp end of the spear now, but where did it begin? Or where did triathlon begin for you, or was it triathlon, or did it start somewhere else?
Yeah, it was. I started with triathlon quite young, but it wasn't specifically triathlon. I first was into a whole variety of sports. I started off, I was always in swimming. I guess that's the first thing you do, being a Kiwi child, like Kiwi or
Yeah,
Australians. You need to learn how to swim
yeah,
with surf.
for sure.
Um, yeah, I was actually pretty into gymnastics. And I was into snow skiing, I was into water sports. We'd spend our holidays up in the mountains just skiing the whole time.
Right.
So, I definitely miss that, being following summer
Yeah.
all year long. I can't really complain, but
Yeah,
I'm
I was going to
definitely a
say.
little ski bunny.
Struggling to feel sorry for you right there, but
Yeah, no need to feel sorry for me, but I've missed probably like 8 seasons or something. But so hopefully one day get back to the beautiful snow. But
yeah,
for now, I'm very happy where I am.
yeah, definitely,
Um,
yeah,
and yeah, so I was at a point where I was doing a lot of gymnastics and also swimming, and obviously both coaches ask you to step up at that point because they both require 6+ trainings, and swimming that's just not good enough, and
yeah,
gymnastics that's just not good enough. So I was at the crunch point where I had to make a decision, and I went with swimming because I also was loving cross country and a few other sports around it. So, and that could slot in a bit easier than gymnastics and swimming. Um, so I went down that avenue. I first started doing triathlons in intermediate, Taupo intermediate. I had a few
right,
cool mentors and coaches and teachers there that really encouraged me to just give it a go. I think they saw I could run cross country, and obviously I was in the swim team.
good
So
swim, yeah, yeah,
yeah, they were just like, just jump on a bike and give it a go. Um, and yeah, since then, I kind of never looked back. I love the whole aspect of traveling away as a team, getting out of school.
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and yeah, it was just fun. And then I did a right because I already knew how to do 2 out of the 3. I wasn't anything fantastic, so I was getting dropped on the bike. But yeah, I
you
was
nailed the
close
hardest of
enough
the two
to,
anyway.
yeah, I was close
Yeah,
enough to enjoy the race still and see that I could be okay at it. And yeah, so since then I kind of never looked back with triathlon. It was always
well,
first choice, and because I love variety in sports, it made the most sense to me to choose one sport that did 3.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you get to train 6 sessions in each discipline pretty much per week instead of just trying to focus on one. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's an amazing story. I mean, obviously Taupo's the mecca of it for New well for sorry for the country in terms of obviously where Ironman's based and some incredible short course stuff up there as well. So you've obviously
yeah,
fell into the right environment, which is incredible. So
yeah.
uh,
Definitely a little triathlon town, so it's cool.
yeah, yeah. Oh, we love it up there. I just we had ran a wee training camp up there a month ago now with a group of sort of age group athletes, and it's just even in the winter it's still an incredible place. Let alone when you get up there in the summer, and actually that water is not quite. You're not having to worry about the ice on top of it. It's not so
Yeah,
bad. So,
more grass skating.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, so have you had any sort of breaks away from it? Have you sort of specialised in anything else, or it's just been head down and into it since then, and just getting better at all three? Just
Yeah, so basically since intermediate, I haven't stopped triathlon. Obviously, there's
well,
been breaks within it just with resting and lots of injuries, lots and
yeah, I
lots of
imagine
injuries.
COVID.
But I
Yeah,
never COVID, yep.
yeah,
I never
yeah.
actually stopped triathlon. Yeah, it's been there the whole way through. It's a
Well,
big part of my
yeah,
life,
yeah.
and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I don't mean that in any, to sort of be with any cheek. I just meaning it's a lot of people sort of get the allure of I'll get selected for a cross country team, or I'll jump on a road cycling race and get drawn away. But obviously that's part of the reason where you are now is just that brick after brick, year after year kind of thing, which is the foundation, isn't it? So
Oh, there was
um,
definitely I think I was close to going towards the surf lifesaving avenue.
oh
I
yeah,
spent my summers over there and I absolutely loved it. The whole social aspect to it, we just hang out. I made a lot of good friends over there. I was starting to go on camps and selected for national teams, which is really cool.
wow, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but that also complemented triathlon, and it always
yeah,
came
would
second. I did a lot of training with them, but I was always thinking triathlon in my mind. There's the Olympics with triathlon, whereas surf lifesaving, it's kind of just, world champs and stuff. They don't have that pinnacle event like Olympics,
yeah, for
unfortunately,
sure,
because it's an
yeah, yeah,
amazing
but
sport and the
yeah, they
athletes
deserve
are
it. But
incredible,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
so fun.
absolutely, yeah. Oh, it is.
um,
It's incredible, and you did
yeah.
right. They're incredible athletes, and they work as hard as anybody else. It's just a shame they don't get the same same level of show place or showtime, really, isn't it?
Yeah, which is like why I think like so many surf lifesavers have transferred over to kayaking and whatnot. So they are the most incredible athletes. Yeah. So hopefully something more comes to them in the future because it's a wicked sport.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, and it gives a hell of a background for you because I imagine a lot of people that have, if they haven't come from a swimming background or certainly that open water surf background, would be quite intimidating to a lot of people, I guess. If we all probably can learn flat water swimming with a wetsuit quite nicely, but I imagine you guys jumping into waves and as well as elbows and forearms coming across you, that's the more practice that I guess or background you've got, the better.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty rough in there when you race, so. More practice the better, like you said.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, well, that's actually sort of one of the things I want to talk about. When you guys were here for the World Cup, the round in New Plymouth, one thing we noticed just putting the athlete coach even had on is how deep you guys or how hard you guys actually go, and I think it's pretty cool to see. I actually made a few comments about it and posts about it just in the days leading up to it. You could sort of see. A little place called East End, just down by our coastal walkway here, where I think might have been one of the South African girls was doing some activations, actually, just some running activations, and just on another planet, like in terms of you guys just step up to another level. Is that something? And obviously, when you won, and then Taylor comes across the line in second, and he's getting rid of lunch. I mean, that's not common, and it blew me away in terms of how, from an age group point of view, or trying to explain to people when we all think we push in a race. Did you find the level different, and is it still changing? Do you find a new ceiling, or do you find obviously where you're getting now is you must be digging deeper and finding, holy heck, I didn't realise I can go quite there, or that pace, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess kind of as the saying, like, it never really gets easier. You just go faster. You're always pushing the limit. Some races definitely get you more than others. For Taylor, if he's in a sprint finish, just chuck a camera on him, he's going to throw up. Like any sprint, he's vomiting. I think it's more a dude thing because you don't like see it as much. I think you just see puddles of vomit everywhere around the men's finish, but the girls are slightly cleaner. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also depends on the race, like the conditions. Environmental elements can really just drain the body a whole lot more. Hamburg, I was just exhausted after because I did 4 rounds of full lactate racing. So I was just like, even though I couldn't like run any faster at the end, I was just like, whoa, like I got nothing. And it's the same with Olympic distance. It kind of just fries the body in a way like no other. It's just 2 hours of high intensity, and you're just like, you feel hungover. You get that Olympic distance hungover feeling after, where you just need to lie down. So it's a brutal sport, and it really gets everything out of you, especially when you got stuff on the line. You really give it your all.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, and it's not. I've been to finish of a few of them. I certainly followed it for years, and there's certainly no show with you guys when you come across the line. Everyone does almost either keel over or almost have a moment. You'll pass out for a couple of minutes. It's certainly not for the camera. It's just you can see from an hour before that when you guys were going at it, which is it's incredible to watch. And it's I guess you must be learning more about yourself in each one. So you must, like you did in Hamburg, you realise you probably to think you're going to go 4 rounds a year ago. Would you have thought that you would do that?
A year ago would be a no, because I literally had run once on the ground before Montreal.
Okay, maybe not a good example.
But
previously?
2 years ago, 2 years ago, actually, I did Montreal, and it was the same format, and I got 9th. So I bettered that by a few places. It's definitely a type of racing that suits me. I don't know why. I think it's like that endurance aspect within super short racing. I think that's also why I love Super League. So it's super short, but then it's also like 3 rounds in a row, and the endurance side of me work comes out. Because I'm not a sprint athlete. I'm not a short distance athlete, but that intensity within a longer race, I love.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then others that may be specialists in that, if it was a one-off short distance event, probably takes the sting out of them a little bit, where you can just sort of
keep them going.
Keep ramping up to the next couple. Yeah, amazing.
Definitely. So that's what I love. If anyone watched it, I was almost eliminated in the first round of the final. I was in position 30, 20 get through. I was just and I had to run through. I think I ran through like 15 girls because I was just sprinting for my life. I was yelling at my coach, "How many? What position am I?" And he's like, "20, get up." Because you're not safe. You're not safe in 20. So, it's every race in that was not tactical, because I think every race I was sprinting, sprinting and using all my cookies way too early. But at that point, I was like, I don't care. I just need to get through the next round. There's no tactics.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting watching from like you probably heard us from the other side of the world yelling from the edge of the seat actually, because it was pretty cool to see. But I think
keeping everyone on their toes, especially my
the whole neighbourhood's awake. But I think people probably at home that don't necessarily follow triathlon, if they flicked on there, they'd almost think, is there games being played, or is it chess or whatever? But I come from a road cycling background, which is used to be all chess. Now it's they're just absolute animals as well. But you guys don't seem to play any games. Everyone just goes, and it's just like a shoulder to shoulder,
It's
beating.
crazy at that level. I mean, maybe if you're one of the top like Hayden, you can play your cards a bit more. But even him in his first round, he was second pack. He had to spend his cookies in the bike to ride up. And maybe in his final round, I think he attacked in the last corner, and that's what gave him the edge. But mostly you're just fighting to stay in the round, because all these people are the best in the world, and there's 10 spots to get into the final. So you're fighting against all of them just for those 10 spots.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think they all seem as hungry as you guys are. Like obviously the whole team of you guys all stepped up. I mean, Taylor had an incredible race. Ainsley sort of, she had an amazing race as well, and obviously Hayden's doing his magic as well. And it just seemed like the whole team stepped up. Then you look at the other countries, like we try and watch it with a really get all fan sort of geeky on it, and think of what are the other countries doing. They're all doing the same thing. They're all just bringing their best gear, and they're bringing their best whatever they have, and just getting stuck in. So for you guys to be where you are, and it's incredible.
Definitely incredible. Yeah, especially watch the next two races. I think every federation have put their Olympic policy on Paris and the World Champs. So these athletes are going to be peaking. It's going to be the hardest races of the year. Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Yep. And that's 2 weeks away, is it? Like just over? So.
Yep, Paris is in 2 weeks. We leave for a little prep camp held in Poissy on next week.
Cool.
And then we'll just drive. It's 30 minutes drive out of Paris, so we'll drive in. Hopefully, no lost bikes. And compete in Paris test event, which is really, really special. I get to trial the course 1 year out. Should be similar kind of conditions, racing at the same time. It's great to have.
Yeah, amazing experience. Yeah, and certainly you can probably you're never going to test it otherwise. You can simulate and research, but to actually go there and get stuck in, feel that feeling under your feet and under your tyres, and what that water feels like, which looks like it's clear enough to swim in now, so you shouldn't come out with any.
Hopefully, I heard it's been raining there for a week, so hopefully they do some chlorination dumps or something. Bad for the water, but good for our health.
Jesus. But not something you're going to do too often. I guess it'll be this time, and then in a year's time, hopefully, do it all again in the same place. So
they had similar dramas with Tokyo, so hopefully they can sort it out then.
Yeah. You guys must have cast iron stomachs anyway, because some of the places we watch you guys swim, you just, man, I wouldn't be that keen. I love a bit of open water.
Yeah, Sunderland was one of them. I think it rained a few days before, but it did clear up for the race, so I was very happy that it cleared up.
Yeah. I remember watching one going back a few years in the Viaduct in Auckland, and it was kind of the Hamish Carter sort of Bevan Doherty era, and you could almost smell the diesel in the water, and they just didn't care.
They would have had some crazy conditions, because the water quality policy has only come in since in the last couple of years. I remember the
Oh,
race
well, yeah.
it came in from. I actually raced from where like 30 girls didn't race the week later. I wasn't one of them. Luckily, I
Oh,
was safe.
shit.
But after that
Oh,
race, yeah, the water policy came in, so I can only imagine what kind of waters
yeah,
those guys had to jump in and just not complain and just do it.
yeah. They're still alive. Yeah, they're still going, so it's a good sign. Well, yeah,
Yep,
must
yep.
be okay. Yeah, could be worse. So to talk through the process, obviously we've chatted a bit off here around the Olympic qual. Do you mind sharing a bit of where you're at with that? What you can and can't sort of share, and because obviously everyone here is very keen to see, you know, in most of it, or everybody's opinion, you guys should all be there. Obviously you're all fighting for spots, so it's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
But I'm just keen to share where that sits and what you can and can't say really.
Yeah, well, it's a tricky one. Everyone wants to go to the Olympics. It's bloody hard to get there. I know from experience I had a pretty messy time trying to get into Tokyo. So, the policy's open. Anyone can read it. It's quite lengthy, but um, basically, there's the first criteria where you need a podium in Paris, and that gets you the golden nomination ticket.
Yeah,
That's sending you on your way. The secondary qualification criteria is two top eights in a World Triathlon Series, any distance, it doesn't matter. And then the tertiary one is mixed relay podium potential. So you need to prove that through mixed relay events, basically.
yep,
And then it keeps on going down and down. And the great, like, if no one meets those, they look further down at performances. But the main one for us is World Triathlon Series racing. And
yeah.
in the last couple of weeks, I ticked off the secondary qualification criteria. So I'm really, really happy with that.
That's
It doesn't
incredible.
give me
Well
a
done.
golden ticket,
Yeah,
but
yet.
it's a really great step. And the likelihood of two other girls getting that in front of me is quite low because it's getting to crunch time. There's not many left. The hardest races of the season are coming up. And even if they did do it, that'd be great because then we'd probably have two other girls in the top 30 and then
Yeah.
we'd get three girls in the Olympics anyway. So
Right.
it'd be
Yeah.
great
It's a
if
win-win.
three girls did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you seem like a pretty cruisy sort of character, and I imagine with the nature of what you're doing, and you can't. I mean, I'm sure you have your moments of stress like everybody else and worry, but do you just take that in your stride now and just think, well, I've done that. I can't control. You know, I'll throw my best foot forward. I'll go to Paris and just give it another nudge, or like how do you deal day to day with that? Like, do you wake up and get on your mind, or you just get into it?
I try not to think about the future too much because once you do that, your life can crumble with it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
You don't want to chase something and be on the back foot and psych yourself out. So,
yeah,
I'm really happy to get those top eights. It wasn't easy getting those. I had kind of three mishaps in a row with World Triathlon Series racing. One was Stitch last year. I had to walk and stop. My Yokohama was just not good enough. My swim was backwards. In
right.
Montreal, it was going to be my race, but nope. I fell off on my bike and
Came down.
ended up
Yeah.
crawling home. So,
Wow. Yeah.
once you have that in your head, like I try not to let it in there, but there's a trend there. Everyone talks about it. You're not racing well at World Triathlon Series. But I was confident still. I had a really good New Zealand season. I won all the Oceania racing. So
Yeah,
I
for
knew I
sure.
could race. It was there. I needed to just do it on one day, on one triathlon series, just
Yeah.
one at a time.
Yeah.
And Hamburg was that day for me. And once you get one under your belt, the confidence comes. You can do it again.
Yeah.
And for me, that
Yeah.
was Sunderland. So, I'm really happy to tick that off now. I can breathe a bit easier, not knowing that like isn't going to be like less likely appeal against me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a lot smoother going into Paris. So it's
Yeah. Well done.
really nice. I'll obviously try my best in the next races, but it's not do or die at the next racing, so I can just really
Yep.
enjoy it, soak it up, and come in pretty chill.
It sounds like a pretty good mixture. If you're from an athlete or a coach point of view, if you had almost 99% tick the box, then you're going into an event which means a lot, but equally you're going in there with confidence, and also the almost the hard work's done. You're just about there, kind of. It's a win-win. So that sort of sets you up for something pretty neat. So we obviously we're all looking forward to that probably as much as you are. I guess it's going to be an incredible couple of weeks to see the show, I suppose, and where it is and the sights and sounds, and see it on the stage, which will be incredible. And hopefully you do just get that golden buzzer and you're done. Then you can just go away from there and you're sorted.
Yeah, keep on keeping on.
Yeah. You're back to it. So it's Super League after that for you? Is that not far away?
Yes. So
yeah.
Everyone else would have found out the same time as me. The announcement in Super League of what team I was in was announced to the world just as I found out. So
right.
If you follow Super League, they're just announced team by team each day. And I could kind of work it out because there's an American team, there's a British team, and then they also announced the tech team. So there was kind of only one more team I could be in, which was the Scorpions, and that's the Bahrain Scorpions team. I'm super excited. Yeah. So I was in Sharks last year, which is the runner-up to Scorpions. So I've been picked to be in Scorpions, so I'm quite happy about that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. More excited about the racing, obviously. Racing starts in London 1 week after Paris. So it's just so much fun. And earlier this year I was talking to Stephen. I was outside the top 100. We didn't know if I could do Super League, and I was like, nah, if we do all the New Zealand races, I'll get enough points. I want to do Super League.
Wicked.
And I've kind of nailed all the things I want to nail. So now I can go into Super League knowing, we're here to have a good time, have a hard time, earn some money, have some good racing, and not stress about the Olympic selection.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's so funny watching it from our end. You just imagine the Super League stuff all behind the scenes. I don't know any of the management personally at all, but I certainly know them from the athletic sort of days. And you imagine there's just this show that's you guys are all part of, and to find that you guys found out about it at the same sort of time as we are, it's incredible actually. It's sort of hard to believe.
Yeah, so it's all about the media and suspense, so they love it.
Well, it creates drama, I suppose. So it's good for the media stuff. So, but that's certainly incredible to watch. We're lucky that we had amazing coverage of that last year, and it was certainly, we certainly can't wait for that as well. So after that, you what's the plan from there? Super League finishes. Is it a 4 week sort of series, 5 week series?
So it's a bit different to last time. We travelled kind of as a whole travelling circus for a month, but this time it's dotted around big events. I think they've done that to support World Triathlon and vice versa. You got big named athletes in Super League, so you don't want to ruin their prep completely for these big races that they need to qualify for. So it goes the Paris test event, and then 1 week following is in London, and then 1 week following that is in Toulouse, and then we get a short break, a couple weekends between Toulouse and World Triathlon Series World Grand Final, which is in Pontevedra. So that gives the athletes a bit of a break. And directly after that, the following week, we fly to race the next weekend in Malibu. So it's pretty crazy, flying across the world, and then fly back, and it's about 3 to 4 weeks, and then it's Neom, the final.
Right. Yeah. That was incredible. Race to watch last year at Neom. That was just looked like you guys were on the moon. It was there was nothing there, just this village.
It was crazy. Like, it was actually one of my favorite races. Like the whole thing about it. I love heat. It was definitely hot. It was like a desert. I was riding through and just taking a video. I was like, we are on Mars right now. Everything's red, barren. They literally made road for us to ride on because there's nothing there yet. We were riding on dirt, which is like we don't do. We were like riding and running on dirt. They like compacted it down for us, and then as soon as we left, they destroyed the dirt road. So it was all made for us.
Oh really? I thought it must have been start of a village or something, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you've like YouTubed the line, that's where it's going to be. The line is like this futuristic city that's supposed to be low carbon footprint, 100 and something K long, and it's just like a straight line, and it's a whole city.
Wow.
And that's where we're racing. Is Neom is at the end of the line, or one of the points along the line, or something. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so
Wow.
it's a city of the
Yeah.
future. But nothing's there yet.
Yeah, it's that futuristic. It's ahead of itself. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, it was an incredible thing to watch, and just the wind and the sand obviously coming across. It was sort of crosswind in a feeling like you probably had a water blaster and a sand blaster mixed at the same time, I imagine. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
super beautiful though. Like you could look across and you can see Egypt. I was like, wow, where
Oh.
are we?
Things that here we are thinking you guys are all concentrated on racing. You're busy just Nicole's just looking around sightseeing
Yeah,
at the same time,
looking at the fish, trying to find some, yeah, just
looking for a
sightseeing.
pyramid.
Yeah, looking for a pyramid.
Working. So, if you don't mind, a bit of a dive into training, I guess. So I'd be keen to see that sort of stuff. That's what we're right into, and I'm keen to see what your where obviously you're looking for improvements every day. You're a high performance sort of athlete in a hugely competitive environment. So I imagine sort of a second of K or a few watts here and there is the difference between first and, geez, probably sometimes 10th or 15th. How close you guys race. So
Yeah,
what do you,
yeah,
where do you-
definitely.
yeah, oh sorry. Okay, where do you
No, no,
where do you make a few gains? I mean, obviously your trajectory is going in the right direction. So where do you spend the next 12 months finding? What do you find?
yeah.
You know, what do you?
So it's a tricky one because, like, obviously, performance it takes a long time. It's not an overnight thing or a 2 week thing. Um, but when you race so long, like so often, it's great feedback. Currently we're racing every second week, and then you can kind of tweak.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't make huge gains, but you can definitely make tweaks within the short period. You're like, right, this wasn't great here, this wasn't great here. We're going to focus on
Okay.
that and training for the next 2 weeks to nail it next weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, I last year I was, uh, New Plymouth, for one. It was COVID year, and I was running really well. I had a great race there. And then after that, a
We did see
niggle
that.
popped up. Yeah, I love New Plymouth.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a niggle popped up, and then um, it didn't go away, and I was seeing physios and everything. They just thought it was more muscular. Turned out to be not. Um, and then it kind of led me into my year 2022 really on the back foot. It wasn't what I was hoping because I did a big block, and um, yeah, so I was kind of not very fit for most of the season. I was running on no mileage, racing
Wow.
on no mileage, shall I say.
Wow.
Um, so race to race was the only kind of training I was getting. Throughout
Yeah.
Super League, I was getting better and better, but I think that's just because I was actually running.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Probably helps.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely helps when you can train. So I was quite frustrated with last year because I knew I could be further up ahead, but I was just not there yet. I hadn't had the base behind me. These girls have done so much work. So after that season, I was like, right, back to the drawing board. We're just going to train and train and train through the first half of the summer racing. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to train because
Right.
I need to be peaking now for Olympics.
Yeah.
Well,
Not January.
not
Yeah.
peaking, but yeah, getting Olympic qualification now. So,
Yeah.
all through New Zealand, I was just training. Consistency is really key for me. I don't need to do anything special. I just need to run week in, week out,
Just
just every
bank it
week.
up.
Just yeah, I
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
to do Super Saiyan sessions. Even if you see me in training, any local man and woman could probably beat me. I'm not super special in training. I just
Right.
need to keep on doing it week in, week out.
Yeah.
Um,
Well.
so that was my biggest work on with my coach was just keeping it consistent. And especially with swimming, that's been a massive focus on me. My biggest focus is swimming, is my weakest. So for over a year now, I've just been like, right, we're just doing big weeks in swimming, like no matter what,
Work
like
it.
so racing, we're getting in the pool around racing. It doesn't matter. These girls are the
Wow.
best, and I need to do this if I want to actually be competitive come
Yep.
2024 in Paris. So
Yep.
that's my main thing, is just keep on swimming.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's incredible because and obviously that 4 or 5 seconds makes all the difference for you guys to get off that be in a bike group or at the not on a bike group. I guess makes such a world of difference to the rest of the race. You can draft or rest or take a gel or something for the run. Whereas if you're off the feet, then that seems to be a complete change of the day, doesn't it? So,
Definitely a game changer swimming for females. Like there's always breakaways. So
right.
yeah, if you're not there in the swim, your day's kind of over. You're not racing for medals. So
Wow.
um
Yeah.
yeah, just
Awesome.
any young female triathlete I advise should just keep on swimming. Don't worry
Just
about
keep
the
swimming.
rest.
Yeah.
Just swim.
Yeah. I think that applies to age groupers too. I think we can learn how to ride a bike fairly comfortably, and as much as some people don't like running, but that technical element of swimming is just it's a weird
Crazy.
one.
Yeah.
You can thrash around and go slower than
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's all technique.
Yeah.
All technique. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I've certainly. I remember just before last year, I thought I was swimming really, really well, and jumped beside a swim squad, and there's 12 or 13-year-old kids just. Yeah, they make you look stupid. So, just technically and small and fast. Yeah, and they're hungry because they're all fighting for a spot for a squad. It's incredible. So,
yeah.
So, what are your sort of favourite and least favourite sessions? What gets you out of bed, and what are the ones that you need to take an extra cup of coffee for to get you out the door?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I do love that feeling after completing any session. To satisfaction. It's just like, yeah, job done today.
Yep.
Good work.
Yeah. Pat on the back. Yeah.
But favorite sessions, probably, I don't know. I like the longer stuff. Like I said, I'm not that super short, fast kind of athlete. So I do like those longer, slightly slower ones, like tempo threshold sessions. Like I can really get behind. Yeah. So those are more my favorite ones, and then probably least favorite is probably like swim bikes.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of those. We often do those, and it's like always around race time, and it's like you're doing, say, 3 or 4 to 500 meters race pace swimming, run out, and then you jump on a wind trainer, which I'm not the biggest fan of, if I'm being honest. And then you do 6 to 12 minutes of like hard, like
full
there's
gas.
variation within it. There might be like 2 minutes fast, like simulation, like you're getting on the bike, so like 2 minutes zone 4, zone 5.
Wow.
And then you'll settle in, and then there's sprints to simulate corners and U-turns or attacks. So that's probably my least favorite session. Swimming and wind training in the hot Spanish sun, just in the corner baking. Going nowhere, just in there. But once it's done, it's good.
Well, they obviously work. I mean, those sessions obviously they obviously work for you, because it doesn't seem to be a weakness where you're not getting tailed off on a hairpin or anything. So it's obviously working. It's just crap to do at the time, obviously. So
there's always those sessions that are hard, but they're always they're good for you if you don't like it. So.
Yeah. I guess those zone 1 to the 2 hours across the sun with a coffee stop would be nice if we could just do that and all get world-class fit, but it doesn't quite work that way, does it? So
not quite, no.
Not quite, no. You've got to do the odd bit of intensity. So
yeah, here and there.
yeah, probably more for you guys than us old diesels, but that's all right. No, it's interesting because it's funny talking to people that have got, some people love a run, some people love a swim, a lot of people hate swimming, and then the bike seems to be in the middle. No one seems to love or hate, apart from the indoor trainer, which seems to be a common bug.
Not fun.
No, it's tedious. I'm hearing you. That's all right. I guess sort of getting towards the end of what I had really written down, because I mean you've covered heaps in, and I appreciate your time, because I know it's a rest day for you, but the last thing you want to be doing is spending all day on a podcast. But for people back here like us that are obviously fans of the sport, and you guys, I think last time we spoke to you off air that we you almost sound a little bit surprised that we thought like the pedestal we probably put you guys on. And that's not just us. I mean, that's just the New Zealand public. If anyone's a triathlon fan watching that, you guys are you're just doing us all proud. What do you need from us? Like, what can the country do going into Paris? Obviously, not the test event, but 2024. Like, what do you guys need, or what can we do, or is there stuff that we should be doing that we're not doing as a country? You know, I just want to, if there's a chance to put it out there to someone. You know?
What a question! Yeah,
I know. I'm not trying to load you up. I'm just
obviously, like I always feel massive support from my hometown and my family. I was surprised like that it goes beyond that. You know, we're a niche sport. We don't have massive following, big bucks, nothing like that. We're not superstars. We're not All Blacks. You know. So to hear that there's more than just like, you know, your local mum and dad, childhood teacher, you know, that followed you from day one. We're all like super proud that people actually link in, and you know, if we inspire a next generation, that's even better. I'm taken away when I have kids like message me that like they watch my race and inspire them and whatnot. Like I'm like, wow. I definitely didn't watch races when I was young, so like that's cool. You
guys been in the bubble just doing it, so
we it's really quiet here, so we don't hear any of that. We kind of just get back from each race and we're straight into training, you know, like life goes on, there's no celebration.
We just imagine the team bus rolls in and it's all laid out for you, and we maybe we've all got that a little bit wrong, but
definitely not,
it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
It's
so
normal life.
It's got a team bus. Yeah, it's an interesting one because it is cool. And I mean, watching the kids' response even in New Plymouth was pretty neat for all of you guys. I mean, they were who knows what comes out of that? Which you like you say, that'd be an incredible story. And you do hear the odd one, don't you? That, you know, I watched a race 20 years ago. Now I'm going to whatever sport it's in, which must be an incredible thing. So proof is, I guess, Hamish Carter, like he's inspired this generation basically. Like I know Taylor was very inspired by him. I still am. So if we can do that again, that'd be pretty cool. Well, that's a win. Yeah, that's awesome. So no, it's just interesting because the audience that these things go to are quite vast. We I mean, so if there's anyone out there listening that can help in any way or just is involved with anything, that's the sort of reason I want to ask those sort of questions. It wasn't to put you on the spot and sort of see anything
we
direct, but
definitely appreciate any support we can get. We don't get much as a sport. It's, you know, heavily self-funded. So we're niche, we're small. We just love our country backing us and to help us out in any way possible. So we're just happy that our family support us. They always good race or bad race, they still love us. So it's
consistent. They've got to be. Oh, that's amazing. Well, if it's right with you, I just wonder if I could ask. I've just got a preset list of rapid fire questions just to get you going, just to see. Probably could have done this at the beginning, but I'll hit you with it. All right. So the easy one. What's on your Netflix sort of binge now? What's your guilty Netflix watch? Do you have time?
I'm a big Netflix binger because you're smoked after racing and training. So I've, to be honest, I watch everything very quickly. But right now I'm watching, between the two, Lincoln Lawyer and How to Get Away with Murder. So they're both like defense. I don't know why I've never watched that kind of genre.
In this conversation, a little bit concerned now, but
but I just go through things very quick. Like 2 weeks ago, I was Too Hot to Handle and absolutely loved it.
Nice. Okay, there we go. Wasn't speaking notes, but that's good.
Yeah.
All right. On a different theme, but country music, yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. We're going to have trouble.
A whole variety, so you can throw any music at me and I'll get around it. But yes, I love country.
That was going to be a deal breaker. Favorite running shoe?
At the moment would be the I use a specific running shoe for every kind of session, but
Oh, okay.
probably the Asics Nimbus.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
There
but
we go.
Asics
Okay.
generally because I have a specific Asics for every run type of run
Wow.
I do: long tempo, road, race,
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay. No,
DM
that's
me
all
if
right.
you want to know what shoe per what run because I've got a lot.
We just did a post on that about shoe rotation. It was amazing how many people sort of asked what I meant by shoe rotation. It was like, does one pair of shoes not last for 2 years? And it's like, no, it doesn't. You've got
No, definitely not. They last longer too if you rotate them more as well. So
there we go. I'm going to quote you on that. That's going to back up my post and research. So thank you very much for that. So on the run topic, what can't you live without on a run? Like what do you have to have on the run? Apart from the essentials.
Have to have. Well, definitely in Spain, it's fluid because you run out the fluids very quickly. It's very hot here. It gets between 30 and 40 when you're running. So at the moment, I'm loving my running shorts that have pockets on each side. So then I can shove whatever I need in it. My drink bottles, my lollies, and my phone. Yeah. So my run shorts with holes, I'll say.
Okay, so we've got phone, lollies, and fluid. Fair enough. No, it makes sense. Thing you miss most about New Zealand?
I would say a combo of family and beaches together. Miss my family so much. I'm lucky we have the Zoom and whatnot, and then New Zealand beaches. You can't beat them.
And that's not bad considering where you are in the world. So it's a compliment, I think, for New Zealand. So we'll take that. If you weren't doing triathlon, what sport would you be doing?
I would say surf lifesaving.
Okay. Easy. And the last one I had down here: 3 most used apps on your phone.
Most used. Netflix.
Watching some creepy documentaries by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Netflix, yeah. I watch any genre, so that don't take me by one.
No, we're not judging. No.
Judging harshly. I'd say, I'm trying to think. I use a lot of different stuff. It'd probably just be, Netflix, Instagram / Messenger, and then I often use my Balance app for meditation. Okay.
Oh, interesting. We haven't got into that. Okay. There we go. Okay. No, that's all I had really. That's good. So we figured that out. I'm happy. We've got you backed up my research on running shoes, which is good, and we are concerned as a country about your Netflix stuff, but I won't. We'll sort that out another time.
More concern for Taylor over there.
I feel sorry for him because how to cover up a murder and then how to do one. It's a bit odd, but what a mixture. Poor guy. We'll have to get him on next and see what he thinks about that. But
for sure.
just before we sort of wrap up, is there anything anyone if you want to say or get a message out to that might listen over here? Is there anything you need to?
Gosh, just thank you, everyone for the support. We really feel it over here. Like I said, it gets really quiet. So when we get messages, it's amazing. Obviously, I'd like to thank you guys for having me and reaching out to me. It was super special. My local supporters down in Taupo, the Suzuki down there, Ingham and Suzuki, and Asics.
Wicked. Yeah, no, it's cool. You're obviously, there's obviously, what are they sort of, takes a village to raise someone. It certainly takes a huge network to put someone where you guys are.
So many people. So I'm super grateful for whoever helps out, even just the small things like carrying a bag for me when I have 3 big bags around me just hanging off my neck. So super grateful.
Well, if the triathlon funding ever gets huge and you can pay us to come over, there's probably a few of us that'll probably come and carry bags for you guys. It's
pay for a bag handler.
It's okay.
Save
maybe
the shoulders.
A few more sponsorship dollars, but it's all right.
For now, it'll be off the shoulders.
from my point of view, it's well, thanks for coming on. It's this is new for us. We really just want to sort of try and showcase what you guys are doing. We're going to try and get sort of experts and stuff on here as well to talk about different things. But obviously, going through to Paris, the timing's amazing. So we will collar Taylor hopefully and see if we can get him on as well. He's probably got some bit of humour to share, I'd say. But he seems. But we love watching it. The trajectory, like I said, is just incredible for you guys. So for us, it's an amazing thing to see, and we wish you all the best. Really, we can't wait to see what the next 12 months and sort of beyond brings. Without getting into all that might be episode 2 to find out what's happening afterwards. But
TBC.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. No, amazing. So thank you.